Welcome to the channel. I am Quamon Fowler, called the Texas Tenor. They call me Q, all of those things, but I'm here and I have the NuRad. So let me tell you about the NuRad. I can take that off. All right, so the NuRad is something that I believe Niall Steiner created for Mr. Michael Brecker back in the day. One of the legends. He's passed on, but he was a phenomenal saxophonist and iwi player, and so. But I remember seeing some video of him playing this one that was like black, and it had a tube out of it, kind of like this, and it was side by side, but he was killing it. And so I saw that, and years back, probably like in 2000, early 2000s or so. And later I found out about the iwi. I was actually at the NAMM show, and it's about to come up again, 2025. But I was at the NAMM show, and I went, and what was it, 2005, 6, 4, 5, 6, some in there, maybe 2006. I saw a guy playing it at the Akai booth, and I was like, wow, and something just clicked, and I was like, I gotta get that, all right? So I ended up getting the iwi 4000 at the time, and I met Mike Phillips. He was playing it, doing vocoder and stuff a lot. I think those videos are still out there on YouTube. But anyway, over time, they come up with a 5,000, iwi 5000. Then I played that one, got that one, and I did some iwi classes and stuff like that. Me and Bernie Kennerson did some things together with that. Then we moved on. They came out with an iwi solo years later, and I didn't particularly like that one. It was longer, had a speaker on the bottom, and it was more, of course, digital. And so you had to look at the display, and I'm visually impaired, so it made it a lot harder of a struggle to move through it for me. So I was like, and plus they put a thumb rest. So the thumb rest took away the pitch being up top, and I'm used to the pitch being up top. I mean, that's very important for me, the way I play. And so I was like, nah, I don't like this one. So I sold it. I sold the solo. And so years passed again. I will always hear about the NuRad or the Rad. And then a couple years ago, they started making this model. And I think it was, you can only get it by getting on the waiting list. And so I was just like, I'm cool with the iwi. I'm cool. But then I started having problems with the iwi. And my man, brother D. Anthony Iwi McGee is right here in Fort Worth. And he always is fixing on the iwis, taking them apart, putting them back together, learning stuff. He's more technical in that regard, in terms of engineering and wanting to see how it works. I just play it. And I say, hey man, this ain't working right. So we ended up, he ended up working on it. This one is the 5000. It just has the stickers on there, but it's still kind of giving me problems. So my 4000 is the faithful one. It's back here. And so my 4000 is cool, but it would have some problems in terms of like when I'm trying to control synth sound. It wasn't as good as the 5000, the way the response. Okay, and so I'm hearing all of this stuff, people posting videos and people telling me like, man, you need to get the NuRad. So I was like, nah, I'm good. And I actually was like, going into this year, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check out the NuRad because my man, Mr. Branch, Frank Branch, he told me that you could get some in the States because I just wasn't even interested originally. But then when I started having all these issues with the iwi 4000 and 5000 while I was tracking and recording, I was like, well, let me look into getting the NuRad. And so he put me in touch with the guy, and I contacted them, and I got an iwi. I got the NuRad. So when I got the NuRad, I opened it up and I looked at this mouthpiece, and I was like, what is this? And so I was like, this ain't, okay, well, let me try it. I didn't know no history or, I just, I just dived in. I didn't really know what to expect from the Mouthpiece standpoint. And so, but anyway, once I started trying to play the Mouthpiece, I was like, man, I can't articulate like what I want. And I tried it and I tried it, and I messed around with the settings some, and I was like, nah, this is not gonna work. This is not expressive. It won't. And I was looking at some of the videos from others. Uh, can I get us a discount? Right, I need to. Right, right. Yeah, I need to work on getting a discount. I'm kind of looking at the chat area. If you're over here, you can chat. Uh-oh, I gotta call my mama back. All right, let me call mama back. Not now. I'm just saying I gotta call her back. But anyway, um, so what was I saying? So the Mouthpiece, I was like, man, and Branch, he was just telling me, it's like, man, you just got to give it some time. You're gonna like it. And so what I started noticing, all the people that I watched on YouTube playing the NuRad, they didn't really have no articulation. And I'm gonna keep it real. The way we play, I say we, me and D'Anthony and the people who are come from, you know, our heritage or culture as you know, we like to express ourselves with vibrato, articulation, and it's not a thing where we just blowing and just pushing, you know, pushing our fingers. It's very expressive, and that's what we're real big on. Just coming from church, you know, expressing yourself on the saxophone. So you can actually have a voice on the iwi, you know, because of the sensitivities and things and articulation and even like your vibrato and stuff like that. So when you look at this Mouthpiece, it's really, it's like actually the split for air is on the right side, you know. So this right here on the left, it doesn't receive air. So the air doesn't go through it. You just blow past this little slit, almost like a flute, but the hole is much smaller. So I was like, how am I going to articulate with something like this? And so, all right, so what I had to do, actually, I'm going to tell you a story. I'm not going to jump ahead. Y'all going to like all of this because I told the guy, I was like, yeah, I'm going to ship it back. So I shipped it back before Christmas. So it was on the 24th. And I was like, yeah, I just want a refund. They say they don't do returns. And now I can imagine why, because when you play this thing, you get saliva everywhere. That's the reason why I got this here. This is like my daughter's little hair tie. That's all I had on hand. So that's why I put that there, because it gets pretty watery. So, but anyway, they sent it back, and it was just in the box. I've been, you know, doing other things, not really thinking about it, not really sure what I was going to do. But then I was on the phone with a friend of mine. We were listening to some tracks, and I was telling him about the instrument. I was like, man, well, let me just open it up. So I opened it up. It was like 9, 10, let's say like 10 or so. We were talking and listening to music, and I was just kind of doodling around on it. And so I start looking through the settings and tweaking things. Now I'm gonna tell you all, for those that are iwi players or your wind synth players of some sort, when you first get the NuRad and what you read and then you look at the videos, you'll think it's really complicated. And it can be intimidating, but really, I called up Branch and I was asking him, you know, what I need to do. So I was kind of going through. So the 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 operation system in terms of the how you control the settings, you just push the button and, you know, you have adjust area, which gives you the breath sensitivity, it gives you the bite and different things like that. And then you have another, it's other areas on there, but I'm just giving you the key areas. And then it's control, what is it? Setup control. And you go in there and you can, you know, adjust things like the fingering and Like I like B flat. I transpose is just listed. You can put it on whatever key you want. And then I saw extra key. So this little extra key down here, you can assign whatever pitch you want that, or you can turn it off or whatever. So what I did, just initial setup stuff, I went and did those things. I'm gonna turn this heat back on because that cold, it'll slip up on you. It's like, I'm gonna get you. But anyway, those initial things I did, and then I kept, so specifically last night, I just kept messing around with the breath sensitivity because I was like, the response initially when I first got it before Christmas, I was like, it's just not responding because I played some bass because I like to record bass, and I played my synth stuff, but it just was not feeling right because I think the technique, the combination was my embouchure and how I approach playing this, because it's a very small little slit. I'm gonna go closer so y'all can see that. It's like a real small slit. Let me go over here so y'all can see the contrast. Yeah. So it's actually like right here, just a little slit right there. There you go. And so yeah, it's like a flute. But anyway, I know y'all want to hear me play. So let me get to it. So anyway, I was messing around with these settings, and I finally got to a sweet spot. So I stayed up to 4 in the morning, working on this thing and practicing so I could dial it in and get it to where it felt real comfortable. And then the epiphany moment happened this morning. I was like, oh, I get it. So this EWI, the EWI was designed with internal sounds. So it's created for us to be able to express the internal sounds well. And then of course you have the option to control Midi. So software instruments and synthesizers, analog synths and all of that, you can do that with the EWI. Now, the difference between the EWI and the NuRad does not have built-in sounds because all of the flexibility and what they did in settings and all of the options that you have makes it to where you can control MIDI, software instruments, analog synths, or whatever with more control, like really well. And so I'll give you an example. When I played the Behringer, which is like a Moog, but cheaper version of the Moog, and I played it on my tracks like Waiting for You. I played it on my track Wonder Why. I played the Moog. It sounds like a Moog, like keyboard players can do it. Corey Henry, Bobby Sparks, and these guys. So with the NuRad, actually, I was saying on the EWI, when I control the Behringer, it was just what's that word? It's a term, because it didn't have the dynamics. I can't think of the term right now, but when you play, it's just loud. You don't have the velocity, the variety right there. And so it's just like straight 127. Like that's what they say. They measure velocity by between 0 to 127. But it was like 127 no matter what. If you play soft, it's loud, And so if you play the Moog like that, when you hit a real Moog on the keyboard, it's like that. It's like it doesn't have the touch sensitivity. That's what I mean. But that's on the EWI. But once I got on what I discovered last night, when I was playing some software instruments inside of Logic, and I played the NuRad, the stuff that wouldn't have any sensitivity with the velocity on the EWI when I played it here, I had the range. I was like, oh, wait a minute. That opened up a aha moment. And the more I play with the breath sensitivity and adjusted the vibrato and the bite. And then I started getting into an area where I was like, oh, this feels comfortable. All right. And so that's what I discovered, right? So this is to help us to explore the world of sound when it comes to like how keyboard players can, they can use software instruments and plug in, and they can use vocoder. They can, TalkBox, or they can do, all kind of stuff, sound libraries, banks, and all of that. They can just manipulate everything with the My wheel and just play keys with their, hit everything with their hands and fingers. But for us, we have to do all of the articulation with our tongue. And so that was my concern. But now we can make the synth stuff have the range just like we would having an EWI with built-in sounds. So that's like the big aha moment for me. So it's like if I can get a Moog, or I can get a sound bank from Roland or Korg, all of the stuff that we like, that I like, that's used on certain albums, even like, from Stevie Wonder stuff, or George Duke, Herbie, or any gospel or Snarky Puppy, the cats, Bobby, stuff Sean used to use, and what's my man, Corey Henry, all of the stuff that we like, especially being from Fort Worth, Texas, Dallas, Texas area. We like synths, we like, Bernard Wright, all of that kind of stuff that was used, even like in the earlier funk stuff that was a lot of synths and lead stuff. So we like, that's like in our ear, that's like culturally, that's what we into. So now, 2025, as a wind player, you have access to be able to really control and manipulate that stuff with the NuRad, more so than you do on the EWI. That's what I'm discovering. And I never was that deep of a technician to where I read the books or went through the manual. I was one, I would learn and just tweak things to where I felt comfortable, and I would play it, because I was all about the music and being expressive more so than being technically into everything. So I'm not really that deep like that. All right, so now we can get to the plan so I can demonstrate. So I found I have a software synth inside of Logic. I don't need to share my screen. I just got it set up. I'll go and switch, be able to go to a different one. I like, and I haven't explored a lot of sounds yet, but I do have this one. So let me pull my browser down so I can get Logic here, and then we will go back and forth, okay? All right, so if I pull up Logic, I'm not gonna be able to see the chat. I just have to delete some stuff, and so I can see the chat. So I'm gonna talk through it, and hopefully, yeah, I don't go nowhere. All right, so this particular synth is inside of the ES1 inside of Logic. This is the filter bubble is what it says. I guess I could share my screen. Y'all want me to share my screen? Y'all don't need to see me, or do y'all? Okay, I can see the chat area now. So y'all, I'll look at the chat area, so whatever y'all say. Texas EWI players, Ray Shella, yep. Is it heavier than the EWI? No, absolutely not. What up, Tanya? Oh, they fixed it? I missed it. You said they fixed the velocity. Okay. Yeah, she's a guru too. Tanya is over the group, the EWI group on Facebook. All right. So let me talk through some things embouchure wise. First and foremost, so now I can articulate what I do. I play double cushion usually on the tenor on the saxophone. So let me show you my problem. You know how we can usually go, y'all can hear that. So on the NuRad, you know, you got to push to the right. So I got to push over, and it's not a thing where you got to let the air seep out of your mouth, because it'll get weird when you hold all of that air, because that pressure, you only got that little small slit there. So you got to pass through for it to release that air, and then you can go ahead and deal with the next note. What up, Peter? You said sounds great. I ain't got to nothing yet. No, I was responding to what you were searching for. Okay. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Fixed velocity. Right. I got you. Yeah. She was referring to what I was saying, like a fixed velocity where I don't have the range, but now I got range on using software instruments or software analog sense. So check this out. You don't want to put too much mouthpiece in your mouth. If I put the whole thing, if I go too far, then you're covering up the hole, so it's just going to continuously be going. And so that's what I didn't understand. So if you cover up the hole completely, it's just going to sound weird when you try to articulate, because it's not a saxophone where you got the tip opening and I can say like that. It's a thing where you got to back off and you got to let the air hit this hole, kind of like a flute. And so it's almost like to the right side. So initially you can, but you got to let the air continue to pass. And that's why you have, I put my daughter's little hair tie, because it'll catch some of the spit, the saliva. So what I'm doing, just like I do on saxophone, I'll hit the tip of the mouthpiece and the reed, to get my articulation. So that's what I would have to do here, but just on that side. So right now I had too much mouthpiece in my mouth. So now, and even from doing that, like the saliva built up, that's my only thing. It's like you're going to have saliva built up the way I do it. And when you hear that type of, it's legato, but you hear the separation a little bit, that's because I got too much mouthpiece in my mouth. So I still got to get used to that technique. They also have, I was going to say this too, they give you this. I didn't know what this was. And it looks like a spaceship, right? But they give you the option to put this on the sides, and then you can hold it without the neck strap. I'm gonna try that for a little bit. So you just put these in the holes on the left and right, and then you'll be able to hold it without your neck strap. So let me get it in the right place here. There we go. Oh man, the other side came out. Got one side, there we go. All right, so, okay, and I should have put the thing under, so let me not, I don't want to do it like that. So I'm gonna put this underneath. Oh, shucks. Got this cord in the way. This does have wireless Midi, and I got the little thing for it, but I don't know how to do it yet. So I hadn't wasted time trying to look it up and all that. I'll do it later. I'll just be trying to get it to play. That's my main thing. All right, so here you go. This is just a way that it helps you hold the NuRad. So I'm gonna try it without the neck strap. I think I still like the neck strap. See that? I can articulate. It just took me a little bit. And the reason why somebody might ask, why is it shaped like this? Because acoustically on a saxophone or clarinet or bassoon, you know, all of those instruments, because it's a tube, the way that the keys are running down it, it makes sense to put keys up on the top and some keys on the right, or even on the flute. It's a tube. So in order for the notes to be able to change on that type of acoustic instrument, it makes sense to put the left hand up top and the right hand on bottom. But for an electronic instrument like this, it's not really necessary because it's not acoustic. So you can put the fingers side by side, the keys side by side, so your fingers can be like this. All right? So that's why. And it's shorter. It's a smaller instrument, so that doesn't take as much space. So now I do not have a case for it. So I think there's a case that Branch had told me about. So I probably got to look into that, because if I travel with it, I don't know what I will put it in. And this is sensitive. You don't want to be hitting this, you know, this part and breaking nothing. There is like a little top that goes over the mouthpiece. Hope I didn't lose it. I know it's somewhere. But there is a top. I'll find it. I got all this stuff on my keyboard, but it's somewhere here. All right. But anyway, I want y'all to hear something. I'm going to play a tune. What's up, Rochella? She said is having the hands side by side an issue, or just a small learning. Well, small learning curve. So having it side by side, no, it's not an issue. It actually helps you you can get around the thing faster. Like, let me give y'all, before I play a song, I'm gonna show you all how I think and what I do just to get used to something like this, all right? I first want, and this is how I did on the EWI. I first like to do arpeggios. So I'll start at the bottom. Now the octave rollers are smaller than the EWI. And then if you're gonna be changing octaves like that and you got this, you know, the rail, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be in the way. I mean, it won't, but it's like, cause you're using this to hold the thing, but at the same time, you know, it can bother you if you're not used to it. And I'm still trying to figure out, like, I've seen a lot of cats do like this, and then of course you can do it like this. So, but let's try it with the rail. Now, when you hear the little glitch in there, that's just because I overshot it with my thumb. All right. Now that's pretty good, right? All right. Let me show you what I did too. I turned, there's like, you got the lower key, they call that the extra key, and I made that B as well. So this is B right here. Like, that's B. This is C sharp. Wait a minute. Yeah, C sharp. Because on sax, we go C, and then you got C sharp, and then you got the B, and you got B flat. So technically, it's 3 on the bis key, but I didn't make the bottom one a B flat because sometimes when I go down, I'll accidentally hit that third one, and it'll play a B flat, and it'll play a B flat instead of a B. So I'll be really meaning to hit the B. So I don't need the B flat because I can just play B flat with, the bis key like that. So what I did, I made my extra key a B. Play his return. Okay, that's a good one. All right, I'm gonna play his return. Do I have that play along on here though? Oh yeah, I can use my phone for play along. So I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna cue that up. Somebody said also, what is the range? He said, what is the range? How many octaves? Yeah, it's 8. It's still 8. I don't know why I had to think about it. All right, cool. I'm back on track. So we was talking about the B. Yeah, I had to change this to B because I miss it sometimes. Because, I have big hands, so, and it's not like the saxophone where we gotta go from left to right, We got B and then we go down to B flat. So it's all about what's comfortable and what feels natural to your previous experiences with other instruments. So we going from the saxophone to the iwi to now the NuRad. So what I do, I was saying I do the arpeggios. And I try to do, and that's the only thing, every time I play, I got to wipe spit. But I try to do different keys because every key feels different. And then remember, I got to make sure my embouchure is set in the right place here so I can get the right articulation as I go up. So it's 3 things actually. I'm balancing articulation, maybe more. Articulation, embouchure, my fingering, and the fingering, of course, the thumb on the back, I'm having to change the octave with the octave roller. So now I'm tired. That's the only thing. I can just go on the iwi or the sax, but the way this is, because all of that spit is coming out, that's not like I'm just spitting. It's just the way that the mouthpiece is, like there's no pass through for the saliva. So it's just gonna come out around this. So that's why you see people that have like the wristband like thing around the iwi. That's just to help absorb some of the saliva because this is electrical. You don't want it to. Usually what happens with the iwis, the reason why they go out is that that saliva gets in there and it corrodes and mess stuff up. So D'Anthony actually was telling me, that's what happens. That's why they be going out like that. Okay? All right, but you see how I'm even? Oh, you know what? I just figured something else out. The B flat is in between. Actually, you know, it's in between both of these keys. I didn't know that. Wait a minute. Ah, that's a new thing. I just figured that out. So when I put my finger in between the last key, two keys, it makes a B flat. Oh, that's interesting. So that's like the effect of playing the B to B flat on a saxophone. All right, now y'all ready for me to play? What up, D? What you say? He says, you got a way better articulation on that than I did earlier. Yep. It's a closed system. Yeah, that's right, a closed system. The EWI has a tube in it, which is makes it open. That's right, you can pass through. And that's very interesting. So it's like the tube, that's the reason why we can keep our embouchure closed and blow into the EWI, because the spit is traveling down. So there's no tube on this one, so all of the spit is coming out. That's the problem. Right, that's exactly right. So that's the problem. But I don't know. I mean, because the question is like, what's better? Do you want the EWI going in? I mean, the spit going into the device, which could cause problems with the circuitry at some point, or do you want it not going into the device? Now it's going to be running on the outside, and I guess, I don't know, that's probably why they made it long, and this is external, and all of the circuitry stuff is housed in here, and then that's why you put the wristband thing in place to catch it. But it's almost like I have to keep on wiping my mouth. Now it's not almost like, I just have to. Yeah, my articulation is better. So let's try. All right, let's try my song. Ernest put in the request. So the first time I'm ever trying this, so forgive me in advance. Ah. Ah. All right. Yeah, it's different. It's different. But what does it feel like? It feels like I got a lot in my hands. I think it's because of the rails. I'm not all the way comfortable with the rails. I like to be a little closer and have some space to maneuver. So what I'll do, I'll switch. I'll just put my neck strap on. All right, and so if I put this on, that'll, I can probably play a lot better. Yeah, so that's better. Somebody, okay, I'm looking at the questions here. Mark, he said, is it easy changing tones? Oh, in the middle of a, no, well, I guess if you got your laptop, because you can't, you probably could set a control to trigger something like what they call a CC, but I'm totally relying on the sound that's in Logic right now. So, yeah, it's no built-in sounds on this one. So let me go to Logic, and I'm gonna go to another sound. And like I say, I started playing it, really tweaking it last night. And you can stack sounds. Oh, and this thing right here, it gives you an extra little flare. It's like when the mod wheel, when you press it up, what is that? It depends on what, you know how you can go bend up by going right, or bend down going left. If you press it up, it'll give you that little flange or flare. That's what you get when you lean into that plate on the top. And I'm so juicy mouth, I gotta stop. Uh, so anyway, let's cut off this other one so you can hear this sound. And I did turn off the pitch bend because I rest on the bottom bend plate. It's just comfortable for my thumb. So I need to see if I can put something like a black mask or some tape on there, electrical tape, so that it doesn't respond on the bottom, and see, I can turn the settings to where I can use the top. I can bend up top because I do like to have that option, but right now it's off. Let's put it on my fun one. I'll play another tune. Let's play another tune. Any other requests? See if I can play another tune with a different sound, and then I'll play my bass. I like to play bass. Any other ones here? Main stage. Oh yeah, I guess I could use main stage. I never use main stage, but if you use main stage on the gigs, I think that's the thing, when it's side by side like this, you can play a lot faster. What up, Troy? What you say? He said, nice. Been looking at these for a while. Oh, yeah. Let me do this. I'm gonna play Donna Lee. I want to use the bass. All right, I doctored on this thing, like I say, till like 4 in the morning, so I got really close. Only thing is, it's hard to go fast, to articulate fast. So I gotta work my technique up. Go. I think the music is too loud. I have to do it with drums so y'all can hear the definition. Hey Siri, open Drum Genius. That's all good. Y'all can hear the articulation better if we do Drum Genius here. Now I can speed up. Let me get another one. I like the previous one. Man, I'm gonna have to get me another interface. All right, so I'm working hard over here. So what my problem is like what I'm used to in terms of mouthpiece, and I would, because I have to putting more mouthpiece kind of interferes with the articulation on this instrument, so I would have to back off a lot. But when you're digging in and you're used to playing, you know, that's where you got to make the adjustments with the NuRad because of that factor, because the split is so small and it's an open system, it's not a closed system. And so that's like the only thing that was really going to be the deal breaker for me. Anyway, uh, uh, I wish. No, I didn't invent this. No, this is Niall Steiner and Mark Steiner. They're behind this. This been around, since the NuRad or the Rad, I don't know, from the 90s? I mean, I know the Iwi been around since the 70s, but yeah, Niall Steiner is behind it. All right, y'all, so let's see. What else? I'm going to switch to another synth, and then we'll play a little bit, and then I get out of here. Yeah, because I still want to shed. I still could dial some things in a little bit more. But like I said, I think a lot of it is just me with getting used to this embouchure. Yeah, that's better. So, so I need to make the sensitivity a little, for the breath sensor now, a little bit more sensitive when I play this instrument. So, just trying to make this loop right. Yeah, I still got to work. Yeah, I still don't have it all dialed in yet. So I can't unleash. I can't unleash on her yet. But yeah, I think I'll go off camera and work. Keep trying to dial it in some more. I might get that electrical tape and see if I can take, I don't know, I like the bottom one now too. The bottom pitch bend. But the only challenge is it makes it to where I'm about to get a screwdriver too. Anyway, that's it for today, y'all. I need to really focus in and play around with it some more. But I gave you my opinion, my perspective, and I like it. It's growing on me. We'll say that, and I think we have a lot of flexibility when it comes to being able to control these synth sounds and stuff. So I'm definitely going to be shedding on it and getting better and better each day. And this is basically the first, within the last 24 hours or 12 hours or whatever, I've been working with it and really trying to get it dialed in so I can start implementing it into what I do, tracking, and potentially, of course, be able to play it on the gig. The only thing, I'm already, taking a saxophone, backpack. If I play solo, I'm not playing the Iwi. I'm playing mostly tenor, but now I could possibly, I just need to get a case for it now. But there's more stuff to carry. That's the only thing. So, but it's about the music, right? It's about the creative freedom, that you're able to share and touch people with on the bandstand. So we gotta make it happen. Yeah, it changes. Yeah. It's simply pressing up or down button on the back of the NuRad. Maybe I hadn't gotten there yet. It don't have built-in sounds, so I need to learn that. A fast patch. Okay. Yeah, there's people on that might have more information and knowledge than I do. I'm just I'm getting, I'm just getting into it. All right. All right, so if there's nothing else, we appreciate you for watching, and we will see you on the next stream. All right. It's been well. Oh, I want to say, if you want to become a mentee of mine, I do offer that. And if you want to get with me and talk about it, you can go to letsgetsound.com. Let's Get Sound, it's a place where I work with those who want to increase their understanding and skills in improvisation, jazz improvisation, expressing themselves on the music that they want to better express themselves on. And also we talk about music marketing and business on Thursdays. Tuesdays we do jazz improvisation stuff, masterclass. And then if you would like to find out more about the NuRad or want to talk to me, you can email me. I left my number in there as well in the description area. You can reach out to me or text me or email me, whatever, and then we can chop it up. All right. I think that's all the announcements. Like I said, also go check out Up Next by Jermaine Morgan. I'm on there. And as well, you should look out for the new song that I'm going to release this month with D. Anthony and Joshua Foster on drums. We're going to release one called Don't Trip. So that's it. Don't trip. I was playing a little bit of it for you here, and just trying to demo this electric guitar thing. But yeah, I still got to do some dialing in. I can't get around like I can on the actual EWI controlling the MIDI. So I still got to work on that. So, all right, that's it for now. We will see y'all on the next one.